Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to SimCity 2013, and welcome back to the city formerly known as Whitewater Crossing. It's now known as the Valley of Death, as suggested by a commenter by the name of Brandon. Thank you very much, Brandon. It is a fitting name for this city, which is disastrous. It is an absolute disaster. Now, there have been some changes here that I want to talk to you about because they're very important changes. There has been a good amount of progress, but as you might have noticed, this city is doing anything but making money, and that's kind of a problem. So first things first, I haven't yet upgraded the electronics HQ here in the Valley of Death. The reason I haven't done that is because I went back to Orville, and, well, that's actually kind of where the story begins. Because Orville now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 processor factories. Orville is, in fact, making about 3 million simoleons per day from processors. And if you remember back to the last episode, we needed to be making about 1.5 million simoleons per day to go ahead and upgrade the electronics HQ, which I've now managed to do. Which means that we now have this little guy, which is a consumer electronics division, which then allows us to make one of these guys, a consumer electronics factory. Now, the consumer electronics factory will use processors and put them in TVs so that Sims can fall asleep watching videos of people getting hit in the gut. You can sell your TVs for profit on the global market via a trade depot, or in our case, we want to use the TVs to build the arcology. Now, that is absolutely something that we have been doing. We have actually managed to send all of the alloy that we're going to need for the arcology, at least for phase 1. We have sent almost half of the metal that we're going to be needing, and we've sent almost 1/6, just over 1/10 of the TVs that we're going to be needing for the arcology. And that's because we do actually have a consumer electronics factory. It just so happens that it's here in the Valley of Death. Now, the consumer electronics factory is this guy right here. It uses processors, it uses alloy, it uses plastic, and it produces up to 6,000 crates of TVs at a time. Well, actually, it can produce up to 3,600 per day. So it's not really producing as many as I would like, but it's producing TVs, so that's progress. We're going to get the arcology built eventually. The issue, as you might have noticed, and as I pointed out, is that this place is doing terribly in terms of money. Now, I did just send 10 million simoleons from Orville because I want to rebuild this place. That's kind of the long and short of it. We have a smelting factory down here, which is going to be producing metal. It's producing alloy. But honestly, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the global market and I'm going to say, just import alloy. Just import metal. We don't need to import plastic, but import both of those things for now. Coal is being exported, but honestly, I'm probably going to get rid of the coal mine as well, because the only thing we're using coal for right now is the smelting factory, and I mean, it's not even our source of power. Now, the reason, like I said, that I sent that 10 million simoleons over is because I do just want to rebuild everything. I think we kind of need to. At least half of this city kind of needs to go because traffic is terrible. Garbage collection is terrible. Healthcare is a little bit better because I did upgrade one of my clinics, this one in here specifically. But this fully upgraded clinic is 2,400 simoleons per hour. A hospital is 1,700, so I could have just got the hospital. It's not quite as good, but, you know, it would have been an idea. Now, obviously, getting rid of half of a city it's gonna cost. It's gonna be quite expensive to do that. We're gonna lose money because we're not making as much. But I'm thinking it's probably for the best, because I'm not really sure if we're going to need a smelting factory. I'm not really thinking that we're going to need an ore mine. We are going to need a processor factory, although even then, I'm importing processors, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain that we're actually just importing processors as well. Yeah, we absolutely are. So the processor factory is relatively useless here. But here's the annoying thing. Here's the really annoying thing, and you might have realized this already. I have 5 processor factories in Orville, making ridiculous amounts of money, making 3 million simoleons per day. We're producing a ridiculous number of processors. I really should have just got the consumer electronics factory in Orville, but it's whatever. Let's go ahead and pause and let's get to bulldozing. So basically everything south, including the police precinct, all of this is just going away. Every single building, every single park, every single service, the bus terminals, just every bit of it can go away. And I kind of have an idea for what I'm going to do for the layout here. It's not going to be anything super crazy, but I want to try and consolidate a good amount of my my industry into sort of one space, because it is sort of split up right now, which I don't love. So we're going to see what we can do. Ore mine's gone, smelting factory's gone, everything's gone. So there we go. All of that has been cleared out. It gives us all of this space to play with. Pollution, bit of a problem, but we'll manage. When it comes to things like the recycling center, the trade ports, the trade depot, the consumer electronics factory, Omega Co, the garbage dump, I'm tempted to clear all of that out as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. What I am going to do is clear out all of the zoning just along here, because I think that's going to be pretty good for us. So we'll clear this guy out. And I'm just going to get rid of all those buildings as well. Every single one of them can just sort of go away. Completely clean slate right there. And I mean, my population has dropped massively, but my income's doing okay now, which is lovely. So what I think I want to do, sort of plain and simple, is I want to use these dirt roads for a second to sort of give me a bit of a guideline. So I want to come down to here. And I want to get myself just a nice high density road that sort of comes over this way. It can sort of go over that way. I wish it could go underneath there. It would be nice if it could, but I don't think that's going to be an option. Can it go this way? I don't think it's going to let me do that either, unfortunately. That seems a little bit much as well. Can I do this? What is that? That's a fire station? That's why I can't do that. Okay. So get rid of you. Give me this guy again. We'll go from here to... I do really wish I could just go straight under that. I don't think it's going to let me do a tunnel. No, it's absolutely not going to let me do a tunnel. That's fine. Let's see. So you can't go that way. You could go down like this, though, which it would be really cool if I could go sort of right around there, but whatever. My thinking, to be honest, is that what I want to do is sort of come down to here, and I just sort of want to follow the coast. That's absolutely not what I wanted to do there. I just want to follow the coast, and I want to see if I can just get, you know, as much sort of density in here as is possible. So this guy is going to sort of come down like this. This guy is going to come over to like here. This isn't going to perfectly follow the coast, but it'll be fine, I suppose. So bring you straight through, get rid of all the extra bits there. Bit of a nasty corner, but that's okay. Take out some sections here as well, so I can turn these into sort of smoother corners, which is exactly what I want to do. So grab you, and we want to just do a nice little curve there and a nice little curve there. So that sort of follows the coast a little bit. Yes, this bit's kind of open. Honestly, maybe we just sort of chop this right back like this, and we see if we can curve that a little bit better. I think I prefer that. I would like this to be a bit of a smoother corner as well. I think that would look better. So a little something sort of like this. And so now we have this like much larger sort of perimeter on this space. This entire road can go away, and I think this road is still going to exist, which is going to be a bit of an issue, I think, but it's just going to have to. I think I'm also going to say that we want a nice big avenue there, just so more traffic can kind of get in and out of the space. I think this bit can go away completely. And I think down here, I'd like to try and do exactly that same thing. I think it would be good to try and sort of line this entire space with an avenue. I don't love the idea of putting the junction right by the entrance of the city, but I think we're kind of gonna have to. So we'll give that a shot. We'll see how it plays out. This guy can come down to... Well, I guess that guy doesn't have to come down like that at all. I guess what I could do is a little something like this. We'll sort of bring this guy down to about there. And I guess this road could probably go as well. This might just have to be a bunch of high-density streets rather than anything else too crazy. This can at least come down to here. It would be nice if I could just do that, I suppose. I don't love the corners. Again, I really don't like the corners, but we can fix those pretty quickly. And so I think this is going to do for a road layout for now. What I'd like to do next, though, is try and move as much of our services into this space as I possibly can. So I'm going to start with power, and I'm going to say that we're going to have an oil power plant basically... I mean, right here seems like a bad spot for it because it's basically going to be subject to traffic entering the city, but I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to see what happens. We'll go ahead and put one of these guys up on the roof of the building, and we'll go ahead and put one of these guys sort of next to the building there as well. And that should give us enough power generation to be all right. We can't actually fit another generator anywhere, unfortunately. So we are just sort of going to have to deal with the fact that, yeah, we're a little bit limited on space on that thing, but we should be okay with that. When it comes to sewage, we are potentially just going to want a sewage sanitizer. It does use control nets, but I mean, allows the direct conversion of wastewater into potable water. That seems like it would be a good thing. It's just kind of expensive. I don't know about this one, actually. This might be a terrible idea, but I think we're maybe going to give it a shot, is maybe what we're going to do here. We could put it right about there. I don't think that'd be the worst place in the world for it. I just don't know. I mean, so sewage treatment, 26.3. No, I think I want this one. I think I do want the regular sewage treatment plant. I think that's going to be better for us in the sort of longer term. So I wish I could get it into that space. I really wish I could get it right there, but unfortunately I can't. This can just live, I'm going to say right here, I think. And we'll just go ahead and throw a bunch of these things, as many as we can possibly get, onto sort of the back of it. So a bunch of them like this. That is actually not good enough. Well, it sort of is, but maybe this thing can be moved. It would be nice if I could just sort of move the building, kind of like what you can do in City Skylines, but, well, you can't. So let's go for you again. And I guess it lives in this space instead. I do want to try and, I really want to try and not have it take up sort of all of the space, though. So I'm trying to have it sort of go back like this, and we'll have it sort of go to there as well. So it takes up more of a square, so we have this space still free. So that's sewage treatment dealt with. When it comes to garbage and recycling, I mean, they're both up on the hill, so we'll see how that goes. When it comes to the processor factory, I mean, we are importing those now, so I think we're probably all right in that particular regard. We're not going to be doing ore. We're not going to be doing coal. I mean, coal is up here. We're exporting it, so we can kind of keep that one going. It's not that big of a deal. Water is kind of the problem, really. So a water pumping station in here would be a good thing. Oh my God, that pollution. No wonder people were getting sick. A water pumping station in here would be a good thing if it's filtering out the waste, which it's not necessarily going to be doing. I don't know. I don't know where to put this thing. I'm really not 100% sure where to put this thing at all. If I get rid of that road, I can put a water pumping station right here, and it is absolutely expandable, which is kind of what we're looking for. I don't love the idea of putting it right next to a sewage treatment plant. I'm gonna be honest. I don't love that, but I might have to deal with the fact that is potentially what I'm gonna do here, unless I want to put it anywhere else. I think we're gonna have to deal with the fact that water's coming from an industrial site. So let's get rid of you. That's a basic water pump. Let's put the filtration one back there. And then we can't fit this anywhere else. That's slightly annoying as well. Ugh. Okay. I'm going to have to figure out somewhere else for this thing as well then. Actually, right there happens to work. It's not ideal, and I'm hoping it doesn't get super polluted, but it will do the job for the time being. So that's okay. The rest of this space, to be honest, I'm very tempted to just put a recycling center in here. I think that would be pretty good for the space. I'm not too sure how expandable this thing's going to be, but I feel like a recycling center is kind of the way to go. Can I do anything to this? Can I expand it? I can only expand it that way, annoyingly. And it is the plastic reclamation line that we want as well. So that's really frustrating. I think what we'll do though is just put a single plastic reclamation line on here, and it's going to help us out a little bit. If I redid that road, I could probably get a second one, or if I shuffle this thing over, I can probably get a second one as well. So let's give that a shot and see if we can maybe get two, I don't know if we can get two of these things in here. It really doesn't look like it's going to fit, which is unfortunate, but we'll give that a shot. We'll have a look. Plastic reclamation line can go there. So that's actually okay. I don't mind that. We'll give that a shot. These are going to be the recycling collection trucks. So we can sort of dot these around. We can sort of have them come down here as well, which is going to be pretty good for us. It means we can sort of, swing them around this corner. We'll have a good number of trucks going out, doing their thing. These are the reclamation delivery trucks, which go back here. And so that should be a really good amount of plastic. We could get alloy, we could get metal, but for now, that's going to be just fine. And again, this is pretty dense industry. This is what we're looking for. This is going to be good. When it comes to services, I mean, a garbage dump would probably be useful down here. I also don't know why I can't place it up there. That's slightly frustrating. I'm wondering if I can get away with this. Can I put a garbage atomizer down here? I absolutely can. Now that's gonna pollute the ground as well, but I want to see what happens. I want to see how that plays out. And then when it comes to the trucks themselves, I mean, we could sort of just dot them around this corner if we really wanted to. So I'm just going to line this road with a whole bunch of garbage trucks, and we'll sort of just have them follow the corner here a little bit. And so that's a good amount of garbage trucks. I'm not really interested in the garbage dump back there, but that should be fine. We'll see if we can import the control net for that thing. And then for the rest of this space, I mean, it could just be industry. Some industry there, some industry there. A little bit of industry down there. I don't love the idea, but we'll see what happens, I guess. We'll see how that plays out. And that's a decent little chunk of industry that's now blowing its pollution out of the space. When it comes to ground pollution here, I'm not actually 100% sure how to get rid of it. I feel like zoning anything sort of in here is just going to be immediate sort of pollution. If I just cover the area in trees, I don't really think that's going to do anything. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't suspect that I'm actually doing anything here. I also wish you could like just hold click rather than having to spam click to do this, but apparently you do just have to spam click to place all these trees. I mean, again, it looks kind of nice, but it's, I don't know that it's going to serve too much of a purpose. I guess we'll find out. Now, before we go ahead and actually run things here, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a hospital, and I want it to be relatively central. I just don't know exactly where to put it because all of these intersections are going to be crazy busy. I feel like this road down here is going to be the least busy out of all of them, though. So let's do the hospital, I guess, right down here, right on that corner. That is going to take up some residential space, but I think that's where we're going to put it. And then I just want to expand this thing as best we possibly can. Now, I do want a sign to start with. We also have Medi drones. So drones from the Omega Co factory are converted into Medi drones as they arrive at the hangar. They will fly to treat injured Sims, but cannot treat sick Sims. Interesting. I mean, are we making drones? I think we are, right? We're not making that many, but we're making drones. We produced 96 drones yesterday. I think we should give it a shot and see how it goes. It doesn't seem like it'd be the end of the world to have some medical drones. So we'll give that a shot. As for ambulances, we'll still have, you know, a couple of ambulance bays there. Annoyingly, that does, if I put it there, take up space from the ambulances, though. So let me actually get rid of you. And I wish I could fit it in that space. Unfortunately, I can't. Let's just go for back here for the medical drones, and we'll see how that plays out. And then we'll get, you know, a bunch of ambulances. This is going to be a really expensive hospital, and its positioning is not exactly ideal for coverage, but we'll give it a shot anyway. A wellness center. I actually love the idea of it fitting right there. That's pretty cool. So that is, what does that do? Dispatches a wellness van. It will help Sims clean up, removing some of the germs. That's good. A waiting room wing. That can go up there, so we have more capacity. An emergency center. Time until death is 2 times the previous time until death. That also seems like a pretty good thing to have, so we'll get that right back there. This is a surgical center. What does it do? It is half. Okay, so that's better recovery time. It can go on the roof as well. That's pretty cool looking, honestly. I kind of like this a lot. And is there anything else I can do here? Do we not have medical helicopters? Is that not a thing? I guess it's not a thing. Wellness center's fine. Waiting rooms, I mean, we could get more if we wanted to. I think we will just because we can. It is very expensive, but that is now a hospital with a capacity of 50. Waiting room capacity is 40. That's not really as much as I was thinking it was going to be. I'm going to be honest. That's maybe the stats haven't actually counted up yet because I'm not running the simulation, but yeah, we're losing tremendous amounts of money on healthcare now. It used to be policing. So, I don't know. Speaking of policing, actually, we do need to get a new police station, and we did have a police precinct in here. So, again, absolutely tremendous amount of money about to go in a police precinct. And so now we are about ready to run the simulation. We're currently losing 17,500 simoleons. Everything is more expensive than it used to be, which is great. My rebuild might have been completely pointless, but I'm going to run the game anyway, and we're going to see what happens because I am curious. Basically, I'm curious to see how things go. Minus 31! Minus 31,000 simoleons. Good lord. That is a lot. That is a lot of money. But we do have people moving in, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. The population will, in theory, bounce back a little bit. This place is polluted, but again, in theory, it will hopefully get cleaned up a little bit and people will hopefully not be too sick. We do have a little bit more capacity on the roads as well. So here's hoping for some good things. And I mean, looking in here, we are hopefully going to be dealing with, I don't know, a bit better traffic flow is kind of what we're looking for. Hopefully that'll work out. Hopefully there's not going to be too much traffic coming down here because there's really not that much industry down here. So we'll see how that plays out. In terms of money, I mean, industry's not really making all that much at all, which is sort of to be expected. But I'm curious to see how this goes. I mean, we have, you know, a good police precinct. We have a good hospital. We've got some pretty decent looking buildings coming up here. So I'm curious to see how this balances out. I'm curious to see what this actually does. You know, I've just realized we don't have any education in the Valley of Death. And I can't decide if that's on brand for a city named the Valley of Death, or if that's a serious oversight on my part. I feel like it's probably a little bit of both, which is, it's whatever. Really, it is what it is. Let me have a look at the arcology and see how we're doing. We are almost a sixth of the way on the, almost a sixth of the way on the TVs. That's, I mean, that's fair enough. It would be nice if we were a little bit closer, but that's to be expected, I suppose. Realistically, we could just go to Orville and make TVs there. We could probably make a ridiculous amount of TVs in Orville, but I've committed to this ridiculous idea of using this city to produce the TVs. And I don't know why I've done this, but I've committed, and I guess I'm sticking to it. I guess that's what we're doing. So as the income starts to stabilize, we are still losing tremendous amounts of money. It's about 25,000 simoleons per hour. We are also spending ridiculous amounts of money on our imports every single day, which is also causing us to lose massive amounts of money. What I'm considering, though, is that a little bit of sort of I think a side gig could be interesting, specifically gambling. I'm slightly tempted to just build a couple of gambling houses and see how things go. Now, I don't necessarily think it's going to be the best idea. I don't think it's going to be the most successful side gig that I could do here, but I'm kind of willing to give it a shot because I think it could be interesting, and at the very least, I think it'll be funny. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get some gambling in here. Is what I'm gonna do. So little gambling house right there. Little gambling house right there. We'll just do 2 of them, and we'll just modify these guys. We'll get some signs, of course. We'll get one right there, for example. And then cheap rooms. We could do some cheap rooms. We could do some nice rooms. I'm gonna do some nice rooms, I think. Is what I'm gonna do. I think some nice rooms right about there. I mean, I don't know. Does that just attract people? I think that just gives us more capacity. And then we have some options. So nickel slots. So these are what? Low wealth gambler, medium wealth gambler, low wealth tourists, medium wealth tourists. Interesting. Okay. So what if I just had one that was for like gamblers and one that was for tourists? Is that an option? Like, oh, I can't really do that, unfortunately. Can I get rooms on top of these things? No. Interesting. All right. Huh. I don't know what way I'm necessarily going to do this then. I think I'm kind of more interested in having gamblers than I am tourists. I really don't know. We'll do this. We'll do this. And then can I do this on the roof? Is that an option? Or does this have to be at ground level? I think this has to be at ground level. And then this is the only one that can seem to go on the roof, so we'll do that, I guess, and we'll see if that generates any revenue. And then we'll go to this one and sort of do the same thing. I guess. I guess this is what we're gonna do. We'll do this, and we can do some rooms right up there. I can get another one of these guys in here, which I think I probably should. So what did I go for? I went for those 2, which is what? That's attracting tourists. That's attracting tourists. And then I guess we want to do like blackjack tables. So we'll give some blackjack tables a shot right there. And then on this side, I mean, I really don't know if this is going to make money or not, but I guess we'll find out. We'll do this back here as well. So that just gives us a little gambling hub, and I'm curious to see if that brings anyone in. I really do kind of doubt it, but I think it would also be really funny if eventually it sort of did. I mean, I don't know if we actually have, do we have tourists? We have 159 tourists today. There's no profit. There's no profit today. There's 12 potential tourists per hour. Yeah, wow. There's a lot of low wealth tourists in here. Interesting. Okay. Here's what we could maybe do as well. We could maybe go and place, I don't know, a piece of culture. I don't know, put Big Ben back there. we could put the Eiffel Tower in here somewhere. I don't really know. We could do, I know this building's always really popular. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it though. I'm going to be honest with you. We could do like a windmill. One of the, what is this one? It's the Dutch windmill. Where can I put this? I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be nice here, actually. Like a touristy thing right on the coast there would be lovely, I think. We could do like, oh, isn't this in Cologne? Yeah, I've seen this. It's a really cool looking building in real life. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Oslo Opera House. We could do the Statue of Liberty right on the coast there if we wanted to. That'd be interesting. It would look much better on an actual island, but wow, some of these are huge. Good Lord. The Washington Monument. Can I put it like on the coast anywhere? I could put it up there. And we've got Willis Tower. This actually doesn't look too out of place. What if I was to go and get rid of this guy? Because we don't need it anymore. And then I just put like a, I don't know, a cultural thing in the middle here. We could do like Big Ben right there. That actually doesn't look terrible. I'm going to do that. I like that. I actually like that a lot. That's pretty cool. So that will attract some tourists, I guess. And then we'll see if gambling makes money. Right now it's just losing money, but we'll see if it ends up making any. So as nicely, and I mean that sarcastically, as things are going in the Valley of Death, I do want to come over to Orville for a little bit because we need money. Orville is sitting on 2.3 million simoleons. That's not bad. It's earning a bit of money, which is not bad, but where it really makes its money is in processors. So what I'm thinking is that Orville could probably, no guarantees, but could probably afford to continue to export processors whilst also making TVs. And so that's what I'm going to try and do here, is I'm going to try and get one of these little consumer electronics factories into Orville to see just what exactly it can do. The problem is we really don't have a lot of space. Like, this is the only space in the city, I think, where this thing could actually fit. It could fit out here, actually. That would get rid of some residential zoning, but yeah, let's do that. Let's get this thing out here, and let's get a couple of TV production lines on here. We could do computers as well, but we'll get a TV production line right there and a TV production line right there, and we'll get some of these trucks in here as well, just to help us, you know, ship these things out a little bit. Get a nice sign somewhere up there, I guess, is fine. And so that can go ahead and produce TVs. It is hopefully going to be getting processors locally. I want to say, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I guess we'll find out. And then what we need to do is go to any one of our trade depots and add a TV storage lot, which is going to be slightly tricky. This one, for example, has regular freight shipping. Let's go ahead and get rid of that and replace it with a TV lot. And then that's going to let us sort of ship those out. This one, I think, has regular freight as well. So let's get rid of that and replace it with a TV lot just any second now, right about there. And so in theory, we can now produce TVs and ship them out to where they need to go. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually going to work, but we're going to find out, is what we're going to do. This guy has some plastic. It will hopefully get some alloy shortly. I just don't know if I need to set my processors to be used locally or not. That's kind of the issue. So this has processors. Does this one have processors as well? No, it has TVs. This guy has processors. So what if I was to say that this particular lot was to be using its processors locally? Does that affect all of them? Does that mean that down here we're now using processors locally? No, we're still exporting them. So this guy's going to export, this guy's going to use locally, which means this guy's now going to produce TVs, which means the TVs can be shipped out to the arcology. So we should still be making absolute bank in Orville. You know, I will say it's weird to me that I built this city because it's ridiculously successful, I guess, is how I'm going to describe it. And what I mean by that is it's losing 1.1, or let's say, you know, let's just say 1,000 simoleons per hour, but electronics are still making 2.3 million simoleons per day. So we're still making, you know, considerable amounts of money. And then when you go and look at Omega Co, and it's generating 53,000 simoleons, it's just wild how well this city has turned out. And I absolutely love that about Orville. I also love that we're over halfway on the TVs here. I love that we're less than 500 metal away from the completion of phase 1. I just generally don't love the fact that the Valley of Death, despite its name, is it's just not doing well for itself. And I'm really not 100% sure how to do it. I think my biggest criticism of this game with this, I think with this series so far, to be completely honest, is that there is essentially no way to restart a city. It's not something you can actually do. There's no reset button. There's no wipe button. There's no delete city button. There's nothing like that. So when it came time to build the Valley of Death, or Whitewater Crossing as it was called, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but basically I built it once. It was not very good, and I just had to go through and delete every single road. The way I did earlier in this episode, there is no button to just reset it. So that's why this place had more money when I was starting it, because I gave it money from Orville. It's frustrating. I think that's like one of the biggest oversights in this game. I know people go, well, the city sizes aren't very good, this traffic simulation's weak, or whatever it is. But honestly, a button to just restart a city would be lovely. And I'm sure, I don't even know if there's a mod out there that maybe does it, but I would imagine that maybe there's a mod to just like delete all or something like that. But I don't know. I really don't like that there's no way to just restart. I think that's a massive oversight. In other good news, this gambling house is doing 24,000 a day in profit, so that's nice. That's doing well for us, I guess. We aren't losing as much money as we once were, so you know, we got that going for us as well. 32,000 crates of TVs, almost 2,400 tons of metal. We're getting there. It's just a painful process. You know, I think I've just realized something. TVs are made from processors and plastic, all right? Whereas computers are made from processors and alloy, which means that we don't need to worry about alloy going to the consumer electronics factory, which means we can go over here, we can manage deliveries, we can go to alloy, and we can say that we want to export it, because we're not using it for anything. We don't use it for Omega Co. We don't use it for the consumer electronics factory. So that's more money, essentially. We can start exporting it and making a bit more money. We are only losing 12,000 now because the Omega Co. and City Specializations are starting to make some cash. So we're starting to slowly turn this around, which is kind of exciting. And I'm also kind of annoyed that I didn't notice that sooner. Then when it comes to the great work itself, it's 46,000 out of 60,000 crates. We are so close to getting through phase 1. And so just like that, with a final push from Orville, phase 1 of construction is done. We're now 5% of the way done with the arcology itself. I have no idea how long this is expected to take. It doesn't look like it's going to take that long. So what I'm going to do is go back to Orville very quickly, and I'm going to say that what we're going to start doing is exporting TVs, because at the minute we're just using them locally, which we don't need to do anymore. So if we go to manage global deliveries and export TVs right there, we're now both exporting processors and also exporting TVs, which is going to make us a whole bunch of money. Now, I will say, I did make a slight change in here. I did add another consumer electronics factory just to get us done that little bit quicker. But in theory, Orville should be doing amazingly here very, very soon. It's also kind of cool watching this thing build. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really excited to see how this goes. And there it is. That's actually really, really cool looking. I love the arcology. It's technically only 97% constructed right now, but I don't see any cranes, so I'm gonna say it's kind of done. There it is. Construction complete on the arcology. Building this towering pinnacle of human architecture requires skilled workers and resources. This dense ecosystem contains everything necessary to sustain a massive community. Sims live here, but many of them will commute to the cities in the region to work, to go to school, or to shop. Let's cut the ribbon. There it is. Look at that. It's really cool looking, man. I don't remember ever building a great work in this game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I, for the life of me, do not remember. Also, interestingly, it needs population, power, and water. I didn't know I had to supply this thing with things. That's news to me. How do I do I power this thing? The archaeology, hold on, needs water and has stopped working. Can Orville provide it? How do I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know how, but buy power from neighboring cities. I don't need to, hold on. How do I give, how do I give power to this guy? I actually don't know how. There's like no, I thought like clicking this would maybe do it, but it doesn't really seem like it. All right, I have no idea how to give power to the the archaeology. Interesting. I can't like, wait, can I, oh wait, hold on. So I've got it selected right now. Can I be like, hey, I want power? No. I actually, oh wait, no, it is just getting, there we go. It's just passively getting power. Okay. So does that mean I don't have excess power now? I honestly have no idea. I really, really have no idea. It also needed water, right? Yeah, it needs more water than we're currently providing. Okay, so where do we generate power? We generate power here at the oil power plant. Let me pause and let me bulldoze like all the add-on parts to this guy, because I think we can get the clean oil generator now, which generates the same amount of power actually. So this was sort of a waste of time, but it's cleaner, so it's not entirely a waste of time. We'll do this, I guess. So that's a little bit cleaner. Are we not generating power anywhere else? We've got to be, right? We're really not. Okay, that's surprising that one plant is doing all of that. That's really surprising. I could do some power down here as well, which honestly, sure, let's just get some excess power down this way. Let's clear that out. It doesn't look like this thing's gonna be able to fit anywhere though. I can do the nasty old generator in the back there, and I can do a nasty old generator in the back here as well. So we'll do that. And that gives us a massive amount of excess power. So now we should be providing enough, right? We should be moving all that power out to the archaeology. In theory, I really have no idea. I really, really don't. Oh man, I don't know how to do, I don't know how we do it. I mean, I'm not buying power from anybody. I don't need to do that. Is there like a great work? So that's the great works option. I feel like I should, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's built. We've built it. That's what's important. We built the great work. It looks kind of cool. I'm really pleased about it. I do want to put some water towers down here though, just to see if that gives us a little bit of excess. And does that go out to the archaeology? I have no idea. Maybe I need to have like excess power everywhere. It's really difficult to know, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't, like, I can't click, this isn't a button. I can't click it and be like, hey, send out the power, so. I don't know. I don't know why I built this. I don't know what it's achieving. I don't know if it's doing anything good for me or not. It's really hard to know. There's no button. There's nothing. Oh no, there we go. It has the power that it needs. It doesn't have the water right now, but I would imagine it's going to get the water eventually. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There's a tornado coming through here. I don't want a tornado. Wait, why is the water, why have we got polluted water around here? Hello? Oh, that's, yeah, that'll probably do it. That's probably the reason right there. Are these guys filtered? No, those are basic water pumps. Are you kidding me? I did not just put... Oh, no way. I only put basic water pumps down there. I actually kind of can't believe that I've done that. I put some basic water pumps down there and expected it to be enough. That's, wow. That's a choice. That is a thing that I did, apparently. That's concerning. Wow. I don't know what I was doing when I did this, but apparently it was nothing good. How the hell am I gonna get that out of there? I mean, we have excess water now because I've just put in a bunch of these, those towers, but I do kind of need to, oh my God, that's so much pollution. I do kind of need to do something about this, this general sort of pollution issue, and I'm really not too sure what. Also, what got destroyed by the tornado? Anything? There's like 2 bits of rubble and I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Not enough omega, so that wasn't even the tornado. And then there was like a really localized tornado to this guy's little house. That's terrible. Oh, that poor guy. Let's see, arcology. There's no way you don't have enough water now. We have got like a lot of excess water in Orville, so any second now this should go up and have some excess water, which I assume means that this thing's gonna start actually generating benefits and start giving me shoppers, workers, and students. Although these numbers are fluctuating, so it's really hard to tell. It's really, really difficult to tell. I mean, the water, are we selling water? That might be a thing we're doing. We might be selling water to somewhere else in the region that really needs it. That's a possibility, which would potentially explain why the amount of water going to the archive. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's a little happy face. That's cool. I like it. I really do. I mean, apparently it can get more dense as well, which is fair enough. Man, that's cool. That's really, really cool. I'm really pleased that I managed to build this thing. I don't remember if I've ever built a great work before. I really don't. So it feels like a first time. You know, the game's over 10 years old. I've just built my first great work. It took me that long to get around to it. And I can see why I might have given up before, because honestly, just sitting waiting for the resources to get out there, I mean, this episode, it's been going 2.5 hours for me so far. I don't know how long it's going to be in the edit, probably considerably longer, shorter than that. But I think it was like 4 or 5 hours that I sat just sort of staring at Orville here between episodes as well. So it's a grind, and it's not even that, like, it's not really a fun grind. I've got to be honest. I hate to say it. I don't want to be like, oh, this game's boring, because it's not, but it was not a fun grind to get that thing built. Maybe on a map with more cities it would have been, because if there's like 8 of them, then by like city number 4, you can start working on the arcology, and then while it's building, you go and build other cities. But I mean, I don't know. I think I saved the worst for last, because the Valley of Death here is just, it's just a miserable place. It's a really, really miserable place. I think what we'll do is we'll export some TVs there. We are not making metal. We can export alloy. Yeah, I know the arcology's done. Cut the ribbon. It's fine. No, I don't need to see this again. I don't need the cinematic. We're good. That is so loud. Oh my God. That is so loud. All right. So, I mean, that's cool, right? That's kind of cool. What is it? Plastic and processors. Are we making processors anywhere? Did I ever rebuild a processor factory in the Valley of Death? I don't think I did. Yeah, no, I didn't. Okay. Well, we're going to be importing, or we're going to be exporting TVs now, so hopefully this place can make a little bit of money. Regardless, I mean, this thing's done. It should be getting its stuff from the region soon enough. It might update and actually, there we go. So yeah, we're getting some benefits in the Valley of Death. That's nice. And we've also managed to sell our first batch of TVs for 158,000 simoleons. So there is like a non-zero chance that this place is actually going to start making money, which is kind of cool. I like that a lot. I'm pleased that the Valley of Death might, you know, turn around a little bit. I'm not expecting a miracle here, but it's a possibility. With that said, and I feel like you knew this was coming, I think we're gonna leave it there. Not just for the city, but for the series as well. This was a really fun revisit. There's parts of this game, of course, that I don't love. I don't love that there's no reset button for the cities. I don't love the grind to build the great work. It wasn't ideal, but this has been so much fun coming back and playing this game. I know there was that massive gap in the series where I wasn't doing anything on YouTube for a couple of months, and I do apologize, but this was really fun. And it kind of makes me I kind of want to do it again. I'm just not going to do it on YouTube. If I do more SimCity 2013, I'm probably going to live stream it. And this isn't like a roundabout way to plug my Twitch channel. It is always linked in video descriptions, but if I do another SimCity 2013 thing, I'll let you know via the YouTube community posts, and the VODs, the videos from the live stream will go up on a different channel, and I'll let you know if that happens as well. I don't think we need to jump into this for a second time the way we did Software Inc. last year. So yeah, I think that's going to do us for SimCity 2013. This was really fun. It was kind of a nostalgia trip in a weird way, even though it's a game I didn't grow up with. It was, 10 years ago. I do have a couple of games in mind for what I'm going to do next on the channel, so stay tuned for those. One of them is kind of like The Sims meets Empire of Sin meets Monopoly. It's really cool. It's a game called Big Ambitions, and it's pretty neat. I've played a couple of hours of it already, and I think it'll be kind of cool for like a little mini series at the very least. But if you have any suggestions, anything at all, leave them in the comments below, and we can check out a couple of games over the next week or two, see what we like, see what we don't like, and then dive into a new series shortly thereafter. Either way, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!